What up, guys? This is Casey Israel again, and this is episode 17 of Video Game Hunting with Casey Israel, part 1. Just got out of the eye doctor place. I needed to go to the eye doctor. I've been wearing the same pair of contacts. This is outrageous. I can't believe I pulled this off this long, but I wore the same contacts for 4 months. I don't know. I just never. I should have done it. I think part of it had to wait for my new insurance to kick in because new job and stuff like that. So that's one reason. But, yeah, finally got out. That new pair in me. And I'm gonna head off to the video game store because I'm gonna pick up a Jaguar game in the box. And this one's gonna be Ultra Vertec. That's the cover, the loose game. I have the end label. It's hard for you guys to see because of the sunshine. But I'll be taking that off, and the box games I picked up, Mendel Palace. That's now double. I got Adam's Family. That is now a double, and Zoda Revenge Star Tropics 2 is now a double. And, when I went to one of the video game stores that I went to, last week, I'm trying to tear out the sticker off this one. Same thing with Adam's Family. And then this is a game I picked up. I was pretty sure I didn't have, but apparently I did. It was The Walking Dead. The Survival Instinct for the Wii U. But this was a double that I happened to accidentally pick up. So, luckily, that, I didn't spend too much, and I probably got some of it off anyways. Yeah, now I'm going to head off to there. I might head off to a couple other places. But, as the main ones I usually do, I already did it Thursday, and there's nothing. I was going to actually do this yesterday, but I worked 3 hours over my shift. That I couldn't. By the time I got out, the store was already closed for an hour, so I couldn't make it. Too bad. They used to be open till at least 9. I think sometimes they'll be open to 10. But it just sucks that because of COVID. I'm sorry, Tommy. I had to do that, but I feel bad. That's kind of funny how people takes that, but I understand the whole thing about your mom and dad and everything is not a laughing matter. But the whole thing because of COVID, it's kind of funny the way how some of the guys do it. But shit, I gotta get in this lane. I didn't realize that lane ended. But I'm on the road again. I can't wait to be on the road again. Right now, the weather's not even that bad. It says 43, but it's not even really that bad. I mean, actually, I think Monday says it's supposed to be 60 degrees. So that's going to be awesome. And looks like, at least in my area right now, it looks like a ton of the snow is melted off. I'll talk about that, and then I see a little speck here of snow. But when they push it in a pile, it's going to take a little longer for that snow to melt. I remember back in the day when I was working in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. It was a railroad yard where they come and they unload trailers and stuff from a train. And so it's good, like a quarter-mile stretch that a rail yard, but it's also concrete, or it's concrete. So they had to plow all that shit off, and then have like a couple of these mountains of snow, and everywhere else would be finally melted, but that mountain of snow would stay there forever before it melted away. But I do have pictures of some outrageous snow ice when I used to live in Pennsylvania. That's the one thing. I'm sorry. I tell people all the time that I work with that I prefer working in snow than rain. I hate working in rain. But at least snow is not as terrible immediately. But it gets sloppy wet soon. Honestly, I wouldn't choose snow either. But at my new job, if it snows, you bring a trailer in. It doesn't matter if it's inside or out. Well, outside it could still be cold enough, unless you put a torpedo heater to keep you warm. Then the trailer's gonna start warming up. But if you bring it inside and it starts to melt, and I knew one day, it was like, oh gosh, when we were closing up, we brought in the trailer. It's like, oh, it's gonna be a wet mess when we get in. And I'm like, yeah. And actually, the trailer right beside it apparently had snow and ice as well, so it was melting off that as well. So, oh gosh, I don't know if you guys see, but I got a freaking burn right there. I got burned I was drilling something. I don't remember exactly what I was drilling, but a piece of the coil, the drill coil, went over my safety glasses and got me in that corner of the eye. Luckily, it didn't hit me in the eye. That would really suck, because you could see what it did to my skin. Imagine what it would have done to my eye. I had to go to the doctor if that happened. Now that's just, at first it's like, is it bleeding at first? But now, of course, there's a mark where it landed. A little scab. But I wonder what the eye doctors saw when you knew they probably saw that when they were looking at my eyes. Like, what the fuck is that? I'll tell you one thing, this week was rough. There's a few times that this past week, that I wasn't gonna quit, but I was just like, you know what, I'm going home for the day. I don't appreciate being talked down to like a piece of trash. Eventually, I just had to take a few minute breather to cool down and then just move on. But it's funny, the second I stay and help, it seems like that attitude goes away when everyone else freaking leaves. And it's down to me and one other dude. But it's whatever. And then that's why Randy Viper's now coming out saying that he was the fake Casey is Raw. I think those donations were funny and outrageous. I just don't like it where, and I don't want you to feel bad. I just want to make sure that people know it wasn't me. But I thought it was funny. So, I like to say, don't feel bad. It's cool. At least people knew it wasn't me. But, like I said, we're cool. Don't worry about it, okay? Life is too short to be too upset about stuff. It's kind of like how they say hell and resentment is, it's more of a burden to hold resentment for a long time. I believe that is true. To some people, like, I move on, and it's like, let's just move on. And you do feel better when you just bury the hatchet. But there's some people I can't do that. They're like this one piece of trash I used to work with back in Pennsylvania. This guy was such a douchebag. Here's a couple stories. Right after my wife passed, I had a couple bills on the truck. Had a Cornwell bill and a Snap-on bill. And both of those are currently paid off. But I think it was Snap-on. Because I never liked putting a ton of money on Snap-on because I think they're just overpriced bullshit. You're pretty much paying for the brand name now. But I think I had like $80, maybe, give or take, around there. And I got back after the funeral after my wife passed, and they told me that this one dude paid it off. I was like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. I appreciate that. And then one day, I decided for lunch. This is what this asshole set him off. I went to lunch to go to Panera Bread. And I got a good sized lunch for me. And he got upset. He's like, Casey, I thought you had no money. That's why I just went and paid off your Snap-on bill. So I'm gonna tell him to put it, give me my money back and put it back on you. I didn't know if he was screwing with me or he was. This guy was such a straight face. You can't tell if he's screwing with you or he's serious. And when after a couple times he's done that, the day when he came and he did it again, then when the Snap-on guy came by, I was like, fuck it. I went to my Snap-on guy. I was like, refund his fucking money. I'll pay off because he's a fucking idiot douchebag who wants to be an asshole. Because I offended him by eating Panera Bread for lunch. And then a couple of the other guys, they said, no, okay, so we'll take it up. And I was like, thank you. You guys don't have to do that, but they did it. But that was one of the big deals. This asshole did that. I have some bigger rants about this douchebag. This is one of the reasons I don't do deals with much with people. Like as my torque wrench I got. I wanted a torque wrench when you torque down the hubs properly. And it's good for other things, but I mostly use it for that. But, he wanted a new one, and he knew I was wanting one, so he sold me his old one for like either 100 or 150. I made payments and then finally got it. Or, he might have gave it to me, but I made payments off to him. And then he went on the Cornwell, or either the Cornwell or the Snap-on truck, asking for a new one. And then realized it's super expensive. And then he's like, Casey, I need another $50 for that torque wrench. Like, on top of what I just paid for. I'm like, no, that's not the deal. I paid you off. I'm like, you're not gonna bully me out more money. So I was like, no, that's not part of the deal. So he ate that, and he actually lost in that deal because torque wrenches are kind of expensive if you get a good one. But that was an older one. But another one was at the very end. We were working this deal out before my wife passed. I had my 2 black Craftsman boxes that I was making payments to Sears. And my boss and that guy was trying to convince me to get something bigger. And I was happy with what I currently have. But I finally decided, you know what, sure, it's a good idea. It ended up, at first it was being like a 3-way deal between me and another dude and the truck. Then it became a 4-way deal between the truck, the Cornwell dealer, me, the guy who was going to sell me his Maximizer box, and the guy who's going to take my 2 Craftsmans. And the price we agreed on originally was $3,000 for his box. I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'm down with that. I think I told him that I'd sell my boxes probably for like $600, and they agreed because I didn't feel like saying $1,000, even though I feel like they were worth about over $1,000. I'm not one of those on the really gouge the shit out of you. I work with you. But, we get on, then, like, we're getting close to the day we're about to do it. He jumps the price up $500 on the deal. So he's saying $3,500. I'm like, no, that is not what we agreed. We agreed $3,000. So I had a plan, and it worked. We got on the truck, and he's like, alright, Case, you ready to do this? Like, nah, I'm sticking with my box. It's paid off. Like, I told him, unless you drop that back down to $3,000, I'm not doing it. I was, like I said, I was not gonna let this guy bully more money out of me just because he thinks he could. So after a little squabble, I got what I wanted. I got the deal, the original deal. So after dealing with that asshole, it's hard for me to do deals with anyone. If I know the person, that's one thing, or I like you. And even when I try to do deals with people, I still get screwed. Like, I have some vape stuff, and this guy was supposed to give me $20, and he never did, so that's another reason why I don't do deals again. Like, I'm trying to sell a bunch of these vape stuff that my wife had, but, I thought it'd be easy to sell this shit, but apparently it isn't. But, yeah. But, yeah, but the biggest thing about that douchebag, I told this once before, but, yeah, he said this guy was crazy asshole. Come on, idiot. Right after my wife passed, I think right after that whole squabble about what the whole thing with Panera Bread thing, um, he was saying that I ran my wife to kill herself. I'm like, oh man, that's a asshole move. You're fucked up. I'm like, you're a piece of shit to do that to me. And you know what? I had some, and right after my wife passed, I got a random, either a DM or a random messenger or a text. Some guy's like, I know what you did to your wife. I'm like, what? Like, what did I do to my wife? I should have told him you're a piece of shit for accusing me for anything like that. But then, oh gosh, what else did that asshole did to me? The guy was a piece of shit. This guy was a giant piece of shit. Oh yeah, I remember. I think I was trying to tell about the story before, but I deleted the episode because I was ranting off about my current job. And I didn't feel right to do that. But this guy, this is the plan one. I'm already planning to come back to Oklahoma. And I've been doing the set dolly legs for our trailers. We're replacing the legs, the whole braces and everything. And one of our trailers, as the company trailers, was a dock. Lost its buckled under its dolly leg and was leaning against our trailer. But this guy thought it would be funny to say not only that I did that my weld broke and caused the trailer to lose its dolly legs or collapse. I was like, no way my welds broke like that. I'd never seen that happen. But, and then here's the really asshole move. He said that not only it collapsed and leaning against another trailer, someone else got caught. Either he got severely injured or died. I was like, oh my god. I mean, I didn't care the freaking thing broke away. Well, I do, but I mean, that's not a good look when you go to the NAR shop. But when he told me that, I'm like, oh my god, my life is gonna change now because, you know, I was in Costa's guy's life. I'm like, oh my god. And then he's like, nah, that's not you. And no one got caught in there. I'm like, oh my god, that's fucked up. I don't care. I can take a joke, but that's fucked up. I take this shit serious, what I do. And you tell me that I harmed someone with my work, you're a piece of shit. And I eventually told him, you're no better than my in-laws. And they're giant pieces of shit. So, I hate this fucker. This guy would also undermine and try to make our GM look like an idiot or try make position himself that he should be the GM and not him. Honestly, he makes fuck ups too. I mean, I wasn't perfect, but you know what? I should actually send this to my former GM and show him what kind of piece of shit asshole he was. And there was one point, it was just down to me and him. We're both getting changed and cleaned up for the day. And he kind of gets, I don't know what set him off. Oh, I remember. We were supposed to do something we agreed to do something, clean out a trailer on Saturday. But I'm like, you know what? I'm like, why am I going to want to do this on my day off? Like, I already work hard enough. I work 5 10s. I mean, why am I going to want to come in Saturday and do this? So one day, he cornered me into the bathroom and start bullying the shit out of me, trying to intimidate the hell out of me. So I'm gonna send this to my former boss and let him see what kind of giant piece of shit he is. Not my former boss, but his lead mechanic was. But I'm gonna head into the video game store, so I'm gonna stop it here. If I get anything good, I'll resume for part 2. If not, we'll see what happens. This is gonna be plus rant video, so you guys have a good day. Bye.